Hi everyone, let's try to build something from the tags that we have learned so far. So here I have my VS Code and we'll add a index.html file. We're calling it index because it's a naming convention for the entry point, which indicates that this will be the first page to get loaded when your website is visited. Let's create the basic structure. We're going to build a portfolio website now. So I'm going to call it Gaurav's portfolio. And now we'll just move inside the body tag. So we'll add a heading over here, Gaurav's portfolio, and we'll open this page. Let's drag it here. I'll add an image over here. We'll make use of the image tag and give the path gauravbio.jpg, and let's give it an alternate text. So Gaurav's profile image, and let's do a reload. So you can see my image is being shown over here. We'll make use of the height and width attributes. Let's give it a height of 200 pixels by 200. Let's add another heading over here. Let's call it about me. We'll add a paragraph under this, and I already have some content. Let me just paste that over here. I'll add a couple of more paragraphs over here. Let's reload them, and let me add some more information about myself, such as the technologies that I know. So I'll add another heading over here, technologies known. So we'll make use of the unordered list tag over here, and we'll say front end. Let's create a sub list over here. So in front end, I know of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let me also include React. Let's save this. Similarly, let's add another li tag over here. This time we'll say backend. Let's add another unordered list here. Let's do a reload so you can see this entry over here. Let's add another list item over here. Let's call it as database. And I'll add another list item here. So I know MongoDB, PostgreSQL, SQL Server. So this is how you can create nested list items as well. And let's add another section for social media profiles. So I'll add another heading over here. Reach me at, let's add a URL over here. Let's include an anchor tag. I'll just paste my social media profile link over here. So this is for LinkedIn, and the content I'd like to include an image. So we'll go to this website. It's called Lucid Icons. We'll click on this link and we'll search for LinkedIn. We'll just say copy SVG over here and paste it here. Let's save this, go back to our site, and you can see we have the icon for LinkedIn. Let's add another item over here. So I'll add my social media profile link for x.com now. I'll just put a X sign over here like this. And similarly, let's add the profile link for Instagram and get the icon for Instagram here. I'll just copy the SVG and add it inside the contents for my anchor tag. Let's save this, go back to our website. Let's do a reload. So we can see we have all of these three social media icons over here. And now what we would like to do is, instead of opening all of these in the same tab, we'll target them to open in a new tab. So let's add the target attribute and set it to blank for all three of them. Let's do a reload. And now when we click on any one of these, it will open the social media profile. Now, instead of using a list, there is another way by which we can organize the technologies known to us. We can also organize the list of technologies that we have added over here into a table. So there's a tag for that known as the table tag. And we can create the table heading by making use of the t head tag, and we need to create a row first. So for that we have the tr tag. To add the headings for each of the columns, we make use of the th tag, and the headings are going to be front end, back end, and database. Now we'll move on to the actual content that needs to come. So we'll make use of the table body tag, and we'll add a new row. And here we are going to specify the data for the first row. So we make use of the td tag to add the entry for each cell. So under front end, we need to add HTML. Then for backend, it is going to be Node.js. And for the database, it's going to be MongoDB, right? Let's do a reload. And you can see under front end, we have HTML, under backend, we have Node.js, and under database, we have MongoDB. Let's add another row. So we'll make use of the tr tag. For the first column, we need to add CSS. For the next column, we'll say Express.js. And for the last column, we will specify PostgreSQL. And you can see the next entry has been added over here. And similarly, we'll add a third row. Here in the first column, we will add JavaScript. Then in the next column, we'll leave it blank. And for the third one, we'll add SQL Server. Okay. And for the last row, we'll just add a single column over here, and we'll add React. And there are some additional attributes that you can add. So we can do some additional formatting to our table by specifying border as 1. You can see the borders have been added around each of these cells. We'll add some cell padding. Let's set it to 5 so that some spacing is added between the cell and its content. You can see over here, and we can set cell spacing to 0 to reduce the spacing between each of these cells like this. And there are a few more attributes that you can make use of. Suppose you want to show a single entry for backend, and you want to further divide it into server and database. So what we can do is we can specify over here that this will span across 2 columns, and we'll do the same for the backend as well. And what we would like to do is additionally divide the backend into 2 columns. So we'll say call span 2. Here we'll move this outside, create a new row, and we'll split this into database, and we'll add another one for server like this. Let's do a reload. So here you can see we have front end spanning into 2 rows, right? And then there's a single entry for backend, and since it's taking up the space of 2 columns, when we created a new row, since there's no space for this column, it automatically adjusted these 2 headings under the backend. And you can see we have a clear distinction between front end and backend, and within backend we have server and database. So this is how you can create complex table structures as well. There are a couple of more attributes associated with the table tag, but the table tag is not being used that widely anymore. So I'm not going to go into the depth of this tag. Since we're no longer making use of this unordered list over here, what we can do is we can comment this part out. In order to do that, I'll just collapse this, and we'll do a right click, and we'll open the command palette, and you can search for comment and click on add line comment. So it will comment out this entire section. When we save this, the part which is commented, this is how you can add a comment in the HTML. So comments are basically textual content which are just ignored. They are not actually considered as part of the program. So this part will be ignored from the HTML file. The browser will not render this tag anymore. So I'll show you another example. Suppose I want to give some more context with respect to the code which we have written over here. So I'll just specify originally wanted to use a list, but it was not looking good. So I used a table instead. And We'll use the shortcut this time. So I'll just press command and /. This will add another comment over here. You can check the shortcut by opening the command palette. For Mac, it is command and P. You can right click over here and see the shortcut specified for your operating system over here. Just click on this and then you can search for line comment, right? So this is the shortcut for Mac. You can use the shortcut specified over here for your machine, right? And now when we reload the page, we just see the table instead of the unordered list. Suppose I want to make use of the unordered list and comment out the table. I can just select the entire table section, comment this, save this, and reload. And now once again, we're back to the list structure. So this is how you can add line comments to your web page. The correct way of creating a nested list is by having the nested list inside the list item under which we want to nest it. So the hierarchy should be like this, and we'll do the same thing for this one as well, and for the database as well. So syntactically, this is the correct way of doing it. You can help me grow by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. If you wish to receive notifications about any new content from this channel, hit the bell icon.